Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. Welcome to the diagnostic presentation for the Honda Accord models from 2012 to 2017, focusing on the DTC code P0452, which signifies a low voltage condition in the fuel tank pressure, FTP sensor circuit. Understanding this error is crucial for ensuring the vehicle's performance and emission system functions correctly. The FTP sensor plays a vital role in monitoring the pressure in the fuel tank, which helps in detecting leaks and ensuring proper fuel vapor management. When this sensor reports a low voltage, it can lead to various performance issues and increased emissions, making it essential to address promptly. The analysis will provide a step-by-step troubleshooting process to accurately identify and resolve the underlying cause. Let's dive into a detailed error description to understand what components are affected and their specific locations within the vehicle. During the sixth troubleshooting step, turn off the ignition to ensure a safe working environment. As in previous steps, jump the SCS line with the HDS to enable effective diagnostics. Disconnect the PCM connector A for further testing. It is essential to create a connection between specific terminals using a jumper wire, which allows the voltage check on the VCC6 line. This step checks for continuity between the VCC6 wire and body ground. If continuity exists, it suggests that the wiring is intact, and you may need to update the PCM software, or even substitute it with a known good PCM. If continuity is absent, repair an open circuit in the VCC6 wire to restore functionality. This stage is critical to ensure that the data flow between the FTP and PCM is intact before concluding any further diagnostics. In this repair verification step, it is important to reconnect all the components and connectors that were previously disconnected during the troubleshooting process. Subsequently, reset the PCM using the HDS to ensure that all previous fault codes are cleared and that the control module is operating under the latest parameters. After resetting, initiate the PCM idle learn procedure to help the system recalibrate itself based on any repairs that were performed. Finally, start the engine and allow it to idle while continuously monitoring the OBD status for DTC P0452 in the HDS menu. Checking here provides immediate feedback on whether the issues have been resolved or if the faults persist. If the HDS indicates passed, the troubleshooting is complete. If failed, further checks may be necessary. Preventive maintenance plays a vital role in avoiding DTC P0452 from reoccurring. Begin with regularly inspecting and checking the connections associated with the FTP sensor and PCM. Ensuring these connections are secure and free from corrosion is fundamental to maintaining a reliable electrical circuit. Updating the PCM software periodically ensures that any bugs or issues identified in older versions are corrected, minimizing systemic faults. Additionally, conduct functional inspections of the FTP sensor and surrounding wiring to detect any wear and tear. Establishing a routine for such checks enables early identification of potential faults, significantly reducing the chances of experiencing low voltage issues in the future. In conclusion, DTC P0452 signifies a low voltage condition in the FTP sensor circuit, which is integral for monitoring fuel vapor pressure and overall emissions management. Each of the troubleshooting steps outlined provides a systematic approach to isolating the fault, whether it lies with the sensor, wiring, or the control module itself. It is essential to follow through each step meticulously to ensure a thorough diagnosis. Additionally, preventive maintenance practices can significantly minimize the risk of recurrence of this issue. By staying vigilant and performing regular checks, Honda Accord owners can maintain optimal vehicle performance and uphold environmental standards effectively. The DTC P0452 indicates a low voltage condition within the fuel tank pressure FTP sensor circuit. The primary component involved here is the FTP sensor itself, located in the fuel tank. This sensor is responsible for monitoring pressure variations in the fuel tank and helps detect potential leaks, ensuring the vehicle complies with emissions regulations. A malfunction in the FTP sensor can lead to inaccurate pressure readings, which can impact the engine performance and increase emissions. The sensor connects directly to the powertrain control module, PCM, which processes the signals it receives. If the voltage from the FTP sensor drops below a specific threshold, typically less than 0.3 volts, the onboard diagnostic system records the DTC P0452. The possible causes for the DTC P0452 must be investigated carefully. First, a faulty FTP sensor can directly lead to low voltage readings, making it imperative to test this component for proper functionality. Second, wiring issues, such as shorts or open circuits, can disrupt the signal between the FTP sensor and the PCM, leading to erroneous voltage readings. Poor connections or loose terminals could also contribute to this problem. Additionally, if the PCM does not have the latest software updates, it might not accurately interpret the signals from the FTP sensor, leading to incorrect diagnoses or the inability to clear DTCs. Addressing these likely causes will streamline the troubleshooting process and enhance the vehicle's reliability. Recognizing symptoms associated with DTC P0452 is critical for timely diagnosis and repair. The most common indicator is that the check engine light will illuminate on the dashboard, alerting the driver to an issue. Additionally, the vehicle may exhibit poor fuel efficiency, stemming from improper fuel vapor management due to sensor failure. Another potential symptom includes rough idling, as the engine struggles to maintain optimal air-fuel ratio due to inaccurate pressure readings from the FTP sensor. These symptoms, while indicative of this specific DTC, can also overlap with other problems in the engine management system, underscoring the importance of thorough diagnostics. The first troubleshooting step involves confirming the DTC P0452 and gathering diagnostic information. Begin by turning the ignition switch to the on position, also referred to as Mode 2. This action powers up the vehicle's electronic systems. Next, clear the DTC using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, which allows the system to reset its diagnostic codes and status. After clearing the DTC, turn the ignition switch to the off position to complete the initial check. This step helps in establishing a clean slate for testing by erasing previous fault codes, giving you a fresh start to diagnose any existing issues accurately. It is vital to perform a thorough check to see if the DTC returns after executing this step. In this step, after turning the ignition off, reinstall the fuel fill cap securely. It is crucial to ensure that the cap is properly sealed, as an improper seal can sometimes trigger a low voltage error code. Then, start the engine and allow it to idle for a period. During this time, monitor the onboard diagnostics OBD status for the DTC P0452 in the HDS DTC menu. This monitoring will help you understand if the error is persistent, indicating a confirmed fault, or if the system regards it as intermittent. Should the HDS indicate that the DTC has failed again, you will move to the next step for deeper investigation. If the status shows that the DTC has passed, the issue may be transient, and further checks for loose connections may be warranted. For the third troubleshooting step, turn the ignition switch back to the off position. Subsequently, Disconnect the FTP sensor 3P connector carefully to isolate it from the circuit and prevent false readings. Then, turn the ignition back on, ensuring the vehicle's electronic systems are active once more. With the FTP sensor now disconnected, you will check the voltage readings at the HDS to ensure they fall below the specified threshold of 0.3 volts. This will help determine whether the fault lies within the FTP sensor itself or elsewhere in the system. If the parameters do match the malfunction descriptors, it indicates a deeper issue that necessitates further investigation. In this step, again, turn the ignition switch to the off position to ensure safety while working on the internal components. Next, jump the SCS line with the HDS to avoid errors during the diagnostic phase. After completing this action, disconnect the PCM connector A, which is notably more challenging. To check for continuity in the P-tank wiring, you will test specific points between the FTP sensor connector and body ground. Ensuring continuity in this step guarantees that the wiring is intact and functioning as expected. If continuity is established, proceed to repair any faults detected. However, if continuity isn't present, it solidifies that the P-tank wire is functioning properly. Hence, moving towards updating the PCM as the next course of action. Step 5 focuses on measuring the voltage between the specified test points. Here, ensure the ignition is in the on position to power the FTP sensor 3P connector. Measure the voltage at the FTP sensor to determine if it is around the nominal value of 5.0 volts. This reading verifies whether the sensor is receiving proper power supply. If the measured voltage aligns with this expectation, it confirms that the FTP sensor is faulty and requires replacing. Conversely, if the voltage deviates from this threshold, it may point towards an open circuit or other wiring issues. This particular analysis is crucial as it helps pinpoint whether the sensor itself or supporting circuitry is at fault and guides the next steps for effective resolution. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.